Welcome back to bloodstock.com.au syndications TV. I'm Tanita Vella, and with me today I have Andy Williams from Arrowfield Stud, who also sell their horses on bloodstock.com.au. Today we will be going back to the breeding barn discussing the basics of breeding. Welcome Andy, thank you for your time. So in this industry we use a lot of terminology. Could you please explain to viewers what is meant when people use the terms proven and unproven stallions?
The best example I could probably give you would be a horse like Reduced Choice. You know, he's side plenty of racehorses, 97 stakes winners, 21 Group 1 winners. You know, he's a proven stallion. And an unproven stallion would be an example would be like his younger brother Manhattan Rain, whose oldest progeny are yearlings and hasn't had a runner on the racetrack yet.
So when you're breeding your mare, what are some factors you have to consider?
Obviously there's plenty of factors go into selecting a stallion. Probably the most important question is deciding if you're going to be breeding to race or breeding to sell. Then you go and look at the mare itself, where you want to see improvement on the mare with respect to the progeny. Do you want to see more 2-year-old precocious characteristics, or do you want to see more scope 3-year-old classic types? Obviously you could go ahead and construct a list of stallions and then work towards a budget, what the mare deserves and also what you're willing to spend on the mare.
From a stud's perspective, can you explain to viewers the nomination process?
Yeah, sure. Nomination process usually begins late April, early June. Once we've had the English broodmare sale, we set our stud fees for that season. Stallion owners probably to go ahead and then market those stallions. Mare owners come to the party and give mare names. A popular stallion like Schnitzel obviously would attract a lot of mare names, so we go forth and we try to be as fair as possible, look after the clients that have supported the horse since day one and support stallions that stand under the Arrowfield banner. We obviously go ahead and try and select mares that be best suited for the stallion, whether it be type wise, performance on the track, or pedigree. So it's a combination of quite a few factors, and we try and tie it all together and be as fair as possible by the end of the season.
Can you explain the difference between the Northern Hemisphere breeding season and the Southern Hemisphere breeding season?
The Northern Hemisphere, the breeding shed opens early February and continues into early July, and then the Southern Hemisphere season, a mare can't be covered before September 1st and can last as long as to mid-December leading up into Christmas.
Can you explain to viewers what is meant by shuttle stallion?
A shuttle stallion is whereby a stallion divides 6 months of his year in the Southern Hemisphere and the other 6 months of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. An example would be Arrowfield has just sent Reduced Choice to France to stand at the Aga Khan's property.
So are there any advantages in shuttling stallions overseas?
Yes, there is. There's to promote the Australian breed. Obviously there's been a lot of public awareness for Reduced going to France and to the Northern Hemisphere, especially in Europe. But there's also there's a lot of benefits for bringing stallions into Australia. Obviously you help the Australian breeders with options. We've just brought Gio Ponte, a son of Taylor the Cat, from North America into Australia, standing at Arrowfield. So Gio Ponte, he's an outcross. He's from the Stormcat line. He was a multiple champion turf horse in America, 3 Eclipse Awards, 7 Grade 1s. You know, and it's fantastic to give the Australian breeder plenty of options when making their decisions to mate their mares.
And that wraps up another episode of bloodstock.com.au syndications TV. A huge thank you to Andy for taking the time to be here on this video. If you have any questions, please do feel free to contact the Bloodstock team on the details listed below. We're more than happy to help you out.